Have you, like me, ever been in a dance class, everyone else is picking up the choreography and you feel like you're just being left in the dust? Or you're just completely overthinking the routine and can't get in the flow state of learning? Or whether you're just starting out on your dance journey or you're a veteran in the space, here are 3 things to focus on if you're struggling to learn in class. So first off, I want to start by saying a lot of these are focused on mindset and a bit more psychological as opposed to just do that, do this, do that, yeah? Because dance is such a physical thing, we tend to forget about the mindset when we're going into a dance class or on stage. So first keynote we want to focus on today is about going full out. Yeah, everyone says about going full out, we want to go full out, yeah, it's a hype thing, but what's the mindset behind it? The mindset behind it for me is making sure that when I'm learning it, going nice and big will help me in the long run pick up a lot more, yeah? So when we're doing muscle memory, say you're walking down the street, it's easy to walk down the street, yeah? You don't even think about it. We want to implement that in dancing as well. We want to make sure that we're making it nice and big so my body is telling my brain, okay, this is the move we want to do, this is how we do it. So what does muscle memory mean? Muscle memory is basically doing the same thing with my body every single time without even thinking about it. How many times have you been in the gym and you've lifted up that dumbbell every single time without even thinking about it? You go away and you haven't worked out for about a week, a month or 2 weeks, and you turn around and try and do that weight. You're not going to do it because you haven't built up that muscle memory. Yeah, we apply the same thing in dance. So set yourself the goal next time you go into class. Say to yourself, okay, for this 1 hour, I'm going to go full out all the way through. Even if the teacher says, okay, we're just going to mark it this time, make sure it is the that and placed as opposed to this, yeah? And not dancing in this little box. Keynote number 2. Don't rely on the teacher too much, don't rely on the people around you too much, and don't rely on that space too much. How many times has the teacher turned around to you in class and said, okay guys, do without me, and as soon as that happened, you completely flopped?
Failure.
Because you rely too much on the teacher. So that is because you're essentially just copying. Obviously you've got to learn the dance by the teacher, yeah? But when you're not looking in the mirror or not understanding it in your own body, that is essentially copying. So what I do every other time when I'm learning the dance is I won't look at anyone else, I'll look at just myself in the mirror, not looking at the teacher, just myself, yeah? Better yet, if there's no mirrors and I can't look at myself, I'm focused purely on my body then, yeah? So I'm understanding it internally as opposed to just focusing everywhere. Now focusing on the teacher and focusing on the people around me is the same thing, moves hand in hand, but staying in the same area can be a hindrance as well. How many times have you been in class and the teacher says, okay, we're going to do it in 2 groups. By the time you get to your group, you're rushing to your same place. You're rushing to the same area where you dance, yeah? Why not try and move it somewhere else? Why not try to dance on the other side of the room where you're completely out of your comfort zone, trying it in another area, challenging yourself? That makes a lot more sense as opposed to running and relying on the same area. Now I'm not saying just run around the room trying to knock people out the way, but what I am saying is if you get the chance and say if you're doing it in 2 or 3 groups and it's your time to come onto the dance floor, try not to be in the same place because you become dependent on that place, and what you'll find is a lot of people around you will be in the same places as well, yeah? They'll be in the same place where they was before. So to recap, keynote number 2, don't rely on the teacher too much, don't rely on the people around you too much, and don't rely on the area. Now the third and final keynote I would say is probably the most important, and probably everything that we talked about before is probably irrelevant if we don't keep this in mind or at least put this in our practice. And this is, in a nutshell, probably the most cliche thing but also the most integral as well, and this is the art of not caring what anyone thinks and letting go of any inhibitions as well. So yes, I agree, the art of not caring is a completely hard skill to master, but putting the practice into place can get you there faster. So worrying what other people might think is an obstruction, and yes, it stunts your growth. The amount of times I've taught students and they've been coming for said 2 weeks and then the other person's been coming for 4 months. That person who has no inhibitions and is just going for it and is willing to fail, who's been coming for 2 weeks, has outshone that person who has been coming for 4. Just by the simple fact of not caring. They've started from this point and not cared about going wrong and said, okay, they've learned this move and they've completely messed it up, but they're getting there faster by understanding and experimenting all the way through. So yes, I know it sounds ignorant me saying, oh, don't worry about it, but there is a bit of truth to it. The faster you get out of that mindset of, oh, everyone's looking at me, I'm worried if I go wrong, no one cares in the nicest way possible. Everyone's focused on their own thing, everyone's focused on getting the dance themselves. So just get in the comfort of knowing you're probably in the most positive place you can be in a dance class, where everyone wants to learn together, everyone wants to grow together, and the support is real. Or if you're on the other side of the spectrum and you've been in this space for a while and you see someone struggling on the side, why not go over to them and try and help them out, because we've all been there. So guys, this has been my 3 mindset tips on how to pick up faster. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been AJ, this is G Urban Dance, and I'll see you guys next time.